The restaurant went silent. The only sound left was the faint clatter of a glass rolling across the floor. A young waitress lay on the ground, holding her arm, trembling, not from pain alone, but from humiliation. "Please, don't kick me," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "I'm already hurt." Everyone froze. But one man, the man in the blue suit standing quietly in the corner, felt something shift deep inside his heart. No one knew who he really was. They didn't know that the man they were ignoring was the owner of this very restaurant, the CEO, working undercover to see how his staff was treated. Hey everyone, welcome back to Kindness Action, the channel where we share real, heart-touching stories that remind us what kindness can do. If you believe the world needs more compassion, please take a second to subscribe, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps spread kindness further than you know. It was a busy Friday night at the Silver Plate, one of the city's most popular fine dining restaurants. The staff was rushing, tables were full, and customers were demanding. Among them was Ella, a young waitress working double shifts to save money for her mother's surgery. She smiled through exhaustion, even when her feet ached and her heart felt heavy. At table 7 sat a group of well-dressed businessmen celebrating a deal. Among them was Mr. Douglas, a loud, confident man who believed his money made him more important than everyone else. As the night went on, his voice grew louder, his jokes crueler. The more he drank, the less he cared about decency. Ella approached the table with a tray of wine glasses. She moved carefully, smiling politely even though her hands were shaking from fatigue. But as she placed the final glass down, someone at the table cracked a joke, startling her. The tray wobbled. One glass tipped and spilled red wine onto Mr. Douglas's expensive suit. For a moment, the whole restaurant went silent. Douglas stood up, his face red, not from embarrassment, but rage. "Are you kidding me?" he shouted. "Do you even know how much this suit costs?" Ella apologized over and over, trembling, reaching for napkins. "I'm so sorry, sir. I'll clean it right away." But he didn't let her finish. He shoved the napkins away and stepped closer, his voice dripping with anger. "You're useless. Maybe if you weren't so clumsy, you'd actually be worth your paycheck." Other guests looked on, uncomfortable, whispering. No one spoke up. No one dared to. Ella tried to stay calm, tried to keep her tears in, but her lip quivered. "Please, sir. I didn't mean." And then it happened. Douglas kicked at the tray she had dropped, sending it clattering into her knees. She fell to the ground, catching herself with her hands. "Please," she cried softly, "don't kick me. I'm already hurt." In that moment, the man in the blue suit, who had been quietly dining alone, stood up. His face was calm, but his eyes burned with controlled anger. He walked toward them, every step measured. Douglas turned, irritated. "Hey, buddy, stay out of this. She messed up. It's not your business." The man didn't answer. He looked down at Ella, gently helping her up. "Are you all right?" he asked softly. His tone was kind, fatherly. Ella nodded, still crying. Then he turned to Douglas. "Actually," he said, "it is my business." Douglas scoffed. "Oh yeah? And who do you think you are?" The man smiled faintly. "I'm the owner of the Silver Plate. The CEO, actually." Gasps spread across the room. The other diners stared, shocked. Douglas froze, his confidence draining away. What?" he stammered. "I come here once a month," the CEO continued, "but not as myself. I come to see how my team is treated, how my guests behave." His voice was calm, but his presence filled the room. "And what I saw tonight broke my heart." He turned toward Ella. "This young woman has been working 12-hour shifts for weeks. She never complains, never gives less than her best. And tonight, she still showed grace, even when she was humiliated. Then, looking back at Douglas, he said, "But you showed me something too. You showed me how quickly people forget their humanity when they think they're above someone else." The CEO paused, letting his words sink in. This restaurant was built on respect. For the food, for the customers, and most importantly, for the people who make it all happen. Douglas's face turned pale. "Listen, I didn't mean." The CEO held up a hand. "No. You meant it. And now, you're going to leave. Your bill is paid, by me. But you are not welcome here again." The restaurant was silent except for the faint sound of Ella's quiet sniffles. Douglas muttered an apology and left, his friends following awkwardly behind. When they were gone, the CEO turned to Ella again. "You didn't deserve that," he said. "And you'll never have to face that kind of cruelty here again." He asked the manager to give Ella a paid week off to rest and added a personal bonus to her next paycheck. But more than the money, what meant the most to her was his compassion, the way he looked at her not as an employee, but as a human being who mattered. That night, as the staff cleaned up, Ella approached him quietly. "Thank you," she said. "You didn't have to do that." He smiled gently. "You're right," he said. "I didn't have to. But kindness isn't about what we have to do, it's about what we choose to do." The next morning, Ella brought flowers to work and placed them in a vase near the front door. On a small note beside them, she wrote, "Be kind, everyone you meet is fighting something you can't see." Word of the incident spread online, not because of the cruelty that happened, but because of the kindness that followed. The CEO's act reminded people everywhere that leadership isn't about power, it's about heart. So, the next time someone makes a mistake or seems to be struggling, pause before reacting. Choose compassion over anger. Because sometimes, one gentle act of kindness can heal wounds that no apology ever could. Thank you for watching Kindness Action. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share it. Let's keep spreading kindness, one story at a time.